Riviesi,
Yes.
Riviesi at Roger.com.
Sorry,
Hello,
at
Christine. How are you?
what.com?
Oh,
At
there you
Rogers?
go. At Riviesi
Yeah.
at Roger.com.
Okay, Rogers.com. Okay, got it. And Christine? Oh, that's Christine. Hi, Christine.
You remember Christine? She's our wonderful,
Yes.
and you have your former student. She was now the Reverend Venerable Featherstone. Actually, that has a nice ring to it. The Reverend Featherstone is presiding, I presume.
I like that. I like that sound.
Yeah, it sounds lovely. It has a good ring to it. And there's Regina. And there's they're coming in like I think the bus just arrived. Lulu. Okay.
I know.
It's a good thing I have Zoom Pro. We have an unlimited Zoom account. Hi, Mickey. How you doing? Okay. Regina. We will never remember all these names. Okay. Well, good. Okay. So Mickey, we're having this in the dome. We didn't tell you, and it's much larger than you realize. I'm kidding. Okay.
And then we have Phoebe.
Yes. Where do you see Phoebe? I'm not even seeing Phoebe. Okay.
Sorry,
Boy.
What did you say, John Joseph? Hello, hello.
I was
We're having
joking. I
this
said
what?
I said we're having this in the dome. We didn't tell you. Okay.
No.
No, I'm
I don't
kidding.
know what that is.
I'm
Okay,
kidding.
listen, you're
No,
on twice. I see your
yeah, because
your
I'm using
picture.
I'm using two devices. Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Very handsome,
There
by
you
the
are.
way.
You're so
That
sweet. Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
is.
Well, the other ones, forget it. That's that's me with a beard.
Okay,
Okay.
John Joseph, we
I
can
see
ask.
all new faces. That's amazing.
Yes, it's great. See,
Hello, everybody. I'm an old, more than
we what we did. We offered. It's like Walmart, the door crasher special. The first 100 people get a special voucher for Pizza Nova. I'm kidding, of course. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
And it's good. And this is great.
No, Kim, you look. I think we know each other. Hello,
Tim Tilka. Yes. She's and Warren Wilson. Where is Warren? Which group is Warren from?
Oh, we have to do our name.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints too.
Awesome. Okay, great. So what we're doing, Leonard is delivering food to the Muslim for people for Ramadan. So he'll be a little later. But we're just gonna. Yeah, he's doing wonderful things there. And it's good to have two computers going because otherwise, what I have is my iPad and my computer to help do the other thing. Okay, stay co-host. Okay.
Okay, so once we have everyone, we can ask.
We'll start.
Yeah, well, we'll ask them to put their the name of the church and their email address in the chat.
Yeah, that's good. As we're gathering, if you can do that now, it'll save doing it twice later. Okay, perfect. Okay, fabulous, everybody. And we have people. Good. And
so everyone, please type your email address and the church that you belong to in the chat box now, if you can. That'd be great. So we can connect with you.
Yeah, so we can add you to the database. Yes. Yeah, so sorry we weren't able to meet in person, but here we are. And just to let you know that Joe Toby was ready to bring 3 complete Little Free Pantries and give them away. So we'll have to think about that for next time. And figured all that out. And it's an honor to be here. We are in this time of spring, and I was running into Orthodox people. I've got to celebrate Easter, and Muslims are in Ramadan, and Jewish people are waiting for Passover to begin. So and then actually, if you're Persian, they just came through. Well, they might be still in the middle of 12 days of Nowruz, their Persian New Year. So lots of festivals going on at the same time. Quite an honor. And I thought, as a way of beginning, I'm just gonna read out the land acknowledgement. And the city of Toronto acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of many First Nations, including the Mississaugas, the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations and Métis people. So my name is John Joseph Massandrea, and I'm actually a United Church minister at Manor Road United Church at Yonge and Eglinton, and I co-chair Sharing Sacred Spaces with Vivian. And this began in Toronto in about 2018, 2017, when we had the Parliament of the World Religions in Toronto. I was co-chairing the steering committee, and you may remember 10,000 people converged on the convention center at the time. It was quite an inspiring time. And this originally began in Chicago back in 2001 or so. And it's about 7 chapters around North America. And again, the idea is different faith communities come together and we spend time getting to know each other by having virtual encounters. But then after getting to know each other, moving towards, we'll call it a justice project. And our first one was helping the people in Swansea find a new place to live after they were moved out of there. And this next project we're beginning is called the Little Food Pantry Network, which think of it as a food bank outside your faith community and or your house, and where you can then offer food that people can take as their leisure. Also, people can donate anytime as well. So I'm going to show you a PowerPoint. Now, Simon wasn't able to be with us tonight, but I'll show you a bit of background. And there's actually a Facebook group called Little Food Pantry. And we have one of these at Manor Road. And so that's what, I normally we would try to go through the names, but I'm concerned that if we try to do that, it'll take half of our time to do our wonderful things that we're trying to do. And I see people's names in the chat. But if you do have a question, that put your hand up, and between myself and everyone else, I need your help to be my eyes, because it's hard to see all the windows at the same time. So the old-fashioned, if you want to put your hand up in the chat, there's a symbol for hand wave, but it's also, you can go, hello. I mean, and the old-fashioned, hi, how are you? Wave your hand. That's always good too. But I've said a few things.
And if you're not sure how to put up your virtual hand, at the bottom of the screen, there's a bunch of buttons. If you click on the reactions button, you can raise your hand, and then you can lower your hand after you ask your question.
Yes, I can show you that. I think I can find it. I don't even know where I don't even know where that button is on my own computer. Go figure. And anyways, we won't worry about that right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to find the PowerPoint. And the PowerPoint is right here. And there we are. And here we go. So what this is, I revamped the PowerPoint that Simon showed a few weeks ago. And because I can't really see your faces right now, I just see Vivian's wonderful face. And I'm not sure why I don't see everybody else. But so that Vivian, if you see someone put their hand up, then please, I want it. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see you. Okay. And so then, I'm just good. So myself and Simon, last time we did an introduction, we were at the 40 Oak Street, which is a Christian Resort Center in Regent Park. And then a bit of background. Well, the question I would ask, we asked, why do we need little free pantries? Well, if you think of all around the city, we know that food security has become a tremendous issue, not just in grocery stores, but for people. And what we're doing by this, beyond, and not saying replace food banks, but to offer people dignity by having a little free pantry outside your faith community and or outside your own personal home. And that way they can take as they need. And I'll show you pictures in a wee bit. And it provides a sense of people coming together as community, because what I find at Manor Road, where we have one of these, is that people do donate to the Low Free Pantry, and also our parishioners as well. But also it gets empty rather quickly. So it's a matter of self-monitoring to create a community of caring for each other in a very powerful way. So again, there's many locations around the GTA, typical pantries. We're looking at common questions of low food pantries and signage and best practices in our panel. So if we think it started in Toronto in 2017, inspired by a project in Portugal. God bless those Portuguese. I mean, they do great things. As many took on momentum during COVID, as we know, during food insecurity increased greatly. It has grown to, it's probably well over 65 pantries in and around the Toronto area, east to Oshawa, west to Mississauga, north to Schomberg, and inspired similar movements elsewhere. We're a group of volunteers who respond to questions on the Facebook group and solicit donations from interested hosts and coordinate building of pantries. And so this is a bit of stats. And you think of, it's estimated that food insecurity affects 16% of Ontario households. It's probably more than that. And that 1 in 10 Toronto, please type your email. Good, I'm just reading that. And that also remember that they're also doing food programs in schools now, breakfast programs and lunch programs. There's actually a snack program where they're providing mid-morning snack, noon snack, and mid-afternoon snack. as with different options available. Again, social assistance rates are, as you know, are inadequate. Food prices have gone absolutely crazy. I'll just share with you. The other day, I went to look at cucumbers in Longos. They were $2.99 in Longos, and they were $1 in no frills. So essentially, you could buy 3 cucumbers in no frills and for the price of 1 cucumber in Longos. But not everybody can go from one store to the other. So not that we're providing cucumbers because they're perishable, but just to remind you how expensive food is. So food donations have decreased, unfortunately, which directly affect the food bank supply. So this is our way of helping that along. So if you look at some of the stats, you have, again, all the single, how much different people get. So if you have children, you get more on social assistance, but you have more mouths to feed. And then ODSP, which is Ontario Disability Saving Plan, again, you get a bit more, but again, it's still barely pays for what we need to do. And again, it's so let me pause for that. Are any questions or comments people have? No? Any hands up? No, I'm not seeing any hands.
I don't see
Okay.
any.
Good. Okay, that's good. So if we look at why the little free pantry. So that's one example. Again, the objective is to address the need in a local level and ultimately make our city and our neighborhoods and GTA a better place, where communities coming together, building, hosting, and stocking little free pantries in order to help those in need amongst us. Pantries help those in our communities experiencing food insecurity by providing low barrier access to food. This is complementary to food banks. And again, we're not trying to replace food banks or super kitchens or anything like that. Trying, bless you, trying to add to them. This is complementary. Okay, so then this gives you an idea, map of current food pantries around the GTA. So you can see they're quite dead, and the network is growing. So if you want to take note of that website, it's www.torontolittlefreepantriesproject.com. Okay, so that's it. And then connection. So this is one example of construction. And again, if you know people that build and know how to do, this is think of it as a birdhouse with a door. Okay, but it's important that it has a door. And think of the height that you want to have and then how you place it on the ground. Quite often it's better that it's not directly put in the earth, but it's some sort of cement base is a good idea as well. And you put your name of your congregation or faith group, and then you also if it's your house, you shouldn't want to put your name on it from your house. But again, it can be a great gift. And then here's an example. Take what you need, leave what you can't. That's one example. Where should I locate my pantry? It must be on private property, meaning, faith community is private property. Trade-off, well-lit area, secluded anonymity, easily accessible from the sidewalk, won't impede pedestrian flow, well-anchored, concrete or cinder blocks. Okay. Again, this is another, again, people display them with visual art. How to keep pantries stocked. Approach may change once established. If you had it in front of your house, you could involve your neighbors and bring them in the loop, and this is way of giving, so often the grocery store, we see a big barrel where you can bring food items. This is another way to participate in that. Informal versus formal. Ask for donations from either your faith community or your neighbors. Create a neighbor group. Depending on the neighborhood, some have lots of foot traffic. Some communities may take it upon themselves to fill them. And ask local businesses, bakeries, restaurants, grocery stores. Again, keep in mind, it's better to have non-perishable items, because perishable items, although we had people donate fruit, and we actually had people donate Easter bunnies, but we had to bring them in because they were going to melt. Yeah, non-perishable, and then also sanitary items. I'll share as an aside, a group of Rotary people, 10 Rotary women from the Rotary, they made sanitary napkins, sold them for, I think it was Haiti recently, as a way to help them. Yeah. And again, how frequently should they be stocked? Small amounts at random times versus a regular fill schedule, depending on traffic need, could be cleared out immediately. Important not to confront people who clear them out regularly. So who just popped in?
Sorry, I'm just typing messages.
That's okay. Okay, well, if someone could see who popped in, just put their name in.
It's
No,
Halil.
this is Halil. Store
Halil, All right, Halil.
Just-
Good to see you. Okay.
Thank
Halil
you.
is one of our wonderful Muslim friends. Yeah. And I actually thank you, Halil. Like because of the
Yeah.
dinner, I connected with Labrie Silver. How frequently should they be filled? Small amounts at random times, depending on traffic need, could be cleared out immediately. And important not to judge, confront people who clear them out regularly. And give what you can, take what you need. You notice there's a lot available on the website, helps with liability concerns, manage expectations around what should a pantry be put in. Take what you can, leave what you can. Please wash the food you take, and your hands translated into 32 language. Well, I think, yeah, basically if you do visuals, then it's easier than trying to do written descriptions. Then again, commonly needed items, rice, canned fish, oatmeal, canned beans, lots of beans. There's 15 or 20 kinds of beans, baby formula, pasta sauce, canned fruit, canned soup, hygiene products, toiletries. Consider whether your location is suitable and whether your neighbors will be supportive. Ensure the pantry is properly secured and kept in good repair. Make sure your location is added to the website map. Join our Facebook group and help spread the word. Take care of the space in and around the pantry. Keep the pantry tidy, clean, and remove any perishables which may have expired. Baby formula should not be kept in extreme temperatures. Remember that. Inspect your pantry daily to maintain a safe, neat space. Some hosts purchase a personal or commercial liability insurance as a safeguard, but most do not. If you have concerns, consider obtaining legal advice. If you're a faith community, you already have your own insurance for things like this because we do it all the time. But again, if your house, you may want to ponder that. Okay, learning. So when we would now like to turn our panel meaning myself and First Evangelical Lutheran, and the key question for discussion: what to do if people clear it regularly? And what about vandalism? What about liability? Expired past due items, conflict with food banks, past perishable items. So with the tin, I don't think pests are an issue. Perishable items, I wouldn't put them in the pantry. And I think if you let food banks know you're going to do this, right? And expired past due items, that's always a catch-22. I'll share with you a funny aside. When we grew up, growing up, an uncle worked for Campbell's Soup. So we got all the dinted cans in cases, and we had a glossary. And sometimes they were past due, but I wouldn't put past due items in a food pantry. But yeah. And vandalism, well, I would caution someone who's going to steal from someone who needs, quite honestly, myself. So here's a picture of First Evangelical Lutheran. Now, I saw Christine. She's on the call. So Christine, do you want to give us an update of where you're at with your? I call this is a little free pantry condominium. Okay, this isn't just a. Can you say a few words, Christine?
Sure. Hi everyone. So we've had a little free pantry since I guess July 2021, and it's really. I mean, it's certainly helped us to become part of the community. Oh, and I should probably say that First Evangelical Lutheran Church is at Bond and Young, and Young and Dundas. So we're actually, it's a very high needs area. There's a lot of people who live on the streets. There's drug addiction problems. So, so as you can see by some of our pictures too that are shown, it can be at certain times well stocked. In the bottom left-hand corner, Cobb's Bread for a while donated on a weekly basis, and it would be full, and within a couple of hours it would already be empty. And we make a point of sort of purchasing food probably every month, and then we have somebody who sort of takes care of the church and who lives in the area, and he comes and sort of doles it out in smaller amounts so that we can have the food last a little bit longer, because what we found is that as soon as you put it out, it's gone within a couple of hours. And people, and then also people from the neighborhood also donate. We get donations from the church across the street. The middle picture on the top shows, for example, a couple of people who have donated something at Christmas, quite a lot, That's they do that on behalf of their work. And the young lady was a student at TMU, and she just felt like she was connected to the little food pantry. So that all worked out really well. We unfortunately have a lot of issues with vandalism, I think, because of the neighborhood. And unfortunately now we have to do some major repairs on a little food pantry. So just to keep that in mind, depending on where you are, you may find that that's an issue as well. But we really feel that it helps us to be part of the community, because a lot of us don't actually live in the downtown area, and we wanted to reach out to our community. And we get contributions from our members of At First Church as well. So I don't know if anyone else has some questions. I can certainly answer specific ones as well.
So one question I would have, Christine, is with the bread, do you pick the cooler times of the year, perhaps the fall and the spring, as opposed to summer, to avoid getting moldy, or just do it all the way from, say, March to November for bread?
So normally when we buy the food, we buy non-perishables, like you're suggesting. But Cobb's Bread, they have this sort of approach that they never sell old bread. So they would come in the evening after the store closes, or the next morning, and just drop it off any time of the year. And literally it's gone, and you don't really need to worry about it getting moldy or so, because it's just so quickly picked up. And then some other stores, I think at certain times of the year as well, they might have like a cafeteria, and then they bring sort of other perishable foods. And that's not something that we would purchase, but again, something like that would be taken within a few hours. So we're not throwing it out, and I don't think it gets bad by then. But we wouldn't make a point of buying and then putting.
So the other mini question I would have, in Cabbagetown, you'd worry about raccoons having a heyday, but you obviously don't have raccoons.
No. I mean, there might be rats. There might be rats in our neighborhood.
Right.
We've not had a problem with that. We've just had human vandalism.
We have families of 5 raccoons, and that would come and have a heyday. Okay. No. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have that.
They would go, oh, dinner. Okay, great, sure. Any questions by other people? No? Yes? No? Okay. So you have a mini one of Manor Road, but there's a better one. So again, what to purchase: beans, soup, pasta, rice, oats, etc. And then, hold on, I'll go back to the Reby app in a second. So this is our little free pantry at Manor Road. So again, give what you can, take what you need. And right beside it is a little free library. And so sometimes it's good to have both near each other. And again, it's in an open area right in front of the church. And again, at first glance, you might think North Toronto, it's all wealthy people. Not so much. There's also people on ODSP and OW who have needs. So, it's good to try to do what you can. But backing up, the Reby app, now, I can't see your faces, but I highly recommend you get the Reby app on your phone. What that does, it connects you with every store in the city of Toronto. For example, if you click on the Reby app, you look up butter, it'll tell you the price of butter in 20 stores at the same time. So you'll see the price ranging from $3.99 all the way to $10. So what it does is it helps you locate where the items that are at a lower price sale to fill the food pantry at any time. And also you can recommend to people who may be on limited income to access the Reby app, because again, it shows you where affordable food is. The crazy part is we live in Cabbagetown. We have 3 no frills within 5 minutes of our house, as well as a fresh go and a Food Basics. Whereas near Manor Road, the closest affordable grocery store is Value Mart. The rest are all high end. It's a high end, 2 high end Metro, high end Loblaws, 2 high end Loblaws, and high end Whole Food, and then gourmet stores. So the only close in Thorncliffe across the river is a place where you have affordable Food Basics that way. Yeah, and give you a bit of background. So that's the end of that. So let me just turn that off for a second and stop sharing. I figured out how to stop sharing. Okay, there we go. Okay, I can see your wonderful faces again. Now stop sharing. Okay, good. Now, someone just came in. Who was that? Or
It's Yolanda. Yolanda?
who? Yolanda. Okay. I see Alba Escalon. Okay. And Alba Escalon and Yolanda. Yolanda? Yeah, Yolanda. Okay. Alba Escalon. Great. A lot of great people. So you've heard a lot of information. My hope is that the next steps could be figuring out a time where we can meet in person and my friend Joe Toby can hand you one. Okay, and again, you may have questions already. You may have people on site. Does anyone have people in their faith communities who knows how to build things? And all they have to know is how to build a birdhouse. Does anybody have any birdhouse builders in their congregations? No? Yes, maybe, or no? Okay, not so much. And so here's another question. If you were given one tomorrow, would you be ready to put one up? Yes, no, maybe.
Anyone?
What about, I can't
We
see.
would be able to.
Okay, so Nancy.
Mine
So,
would be depending on my children, because they're the ones that do all our work.
okay, so Nancy.
Throwing the kids under the bus again.
So would you put it in front of Thornhill Lutheran, or would you put it in front of your house?
No, probably Thornhill Lutheran.
Thornhill Lutheran, okay. And now I'm assuming, though, the way things usually work, you have to ask the church council if they're okay with it, right?
We've already discussed the little free food pantry, I think 2 meetings ago, or our last meeting.
Oh, great. Okay, so we have that. That's one contender. What about I live on a street with little foot traffic. Okay, that was Phoebe. So Kim, is your church ready to put one on site?
Let's see. Hi. So unfortunately, we aren't able to at our churches. We did try to get that to work out, but it didn't work out. So
Okay.
but I want to make a comment to this, and because
Yeah.
so a couple of weeks, it's like probably been a month ago, I went on to the map. And
Yes.
I had some food because I had gone through and I was looking at
Yes.
dates and I had things. So I was going to go give. I had quite a few. So we went to a bunch of different places on the map. And I will say, like, a lot of them, the nice thing about this is that because it is on the website, people know to go look for places. And
Right.
every place that we went to was empty. In front of homes was empty.
Really? Wow.
So it didn't matter if like we were on like in the beaches or if we were like Lee side. It didn't matter where we were.
Mhm.
And there wasn't anyway, so that's another option too, if you're looking, if you're worried about it, I guess what I'm trying to say is if you build it, they will come sort of
Right.
feeling. And then if you aren't able to build or to have one, honestly, the map is great if you're wanting to donate. So that was my other thought.
Good piece of wisdom. Donate to
Yeah.
one that's near you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I noticed there's one in Cabbagetown right beside the No Frills, and they called it something else, a food sanctuary or something. And it doesn't really matter the name. You're offering good, but no, that's a good point because, for example, we're still stuck where with 40 Oak Street, we don't even know if they own outside their building because we're stuck there too.
Mm-hmm,
And then Earl, you're still not in your building yet, so you couldn't do anything yet because you're still under construction. And then hello, you don't have a building per se, right?
Unfortunately, we don't have.
Okay, right. Okay.
And
And
Phoebe
sorry.
has a question, kind of. So Phoebe said she lived on a street with little foot traffic, and I'm in a food desert with a long way to go to grocery stores. I'm not sure how to manage one in front of my house.
Oh, so she lives on a street with little foot traffic, but she lives far away. Call it a food desert. It's funny the way Toronto is. In theory, they usually try to put grocery stores near things. But to add to the craziness of my neighborhood, there are 3 24-hour variety stores within a 5-minute walk of my home. There's a Rabba, and there's another one, and another Circle K, which makes, and then you go up to Young Eglinton, there's no 24-hour variety stores. So it's so illogical. the way you almost have to petition to get those things available, because really what you find out is there's no food nearby. But that's a good point. So we could create then an effort to try to fill these nearby. There was actually someone near the 851 Ossington Chapel location named Muhammad who was going to come. And yeah, now is he connected to your chapel? No. Okay. I live near the Danforth. There's a metro. Okay. That was Phoebe. So which part of the Danforth do you live?
Yeah,
Oh,
if
Warden.
you,
Okay. Right.
Phoebe, if you find it easier, you can unmute and speak too.
Yeah, you're allowed to talk. I mean, it's good. So,
Yeah.
okay. Perfect. So what I was thinking would be really helpful is if the other thing that I thought would be a good addition to this whole process would be maybe thinking of recipes that could be put in these food because some people, they don't know how to cook, right? And they don't realize it's not that complicated. With beans and tomato, chopped tomatoes and elbow macaroni, I grew up with something called pasta fazool, which is an Italian dish from the east part of Italy. Another name is pasta e fagioli, which is just white and red kidney beans. It's diced tomatoes, elbow macaroni, some onions, and cheese, and it's to die for. Very good. So again, and
That's
there's
a
other
fun idea. Like you can almost
recipes.
yeah, and you
Recipes,
could
yeah.
almost like thinking of someone who wants to give, I
Yes.
could like package the little like everything you need for a little meal, right? Like
Exactly.
those
And
three
take
things and then
and
the
take the get
recipe.
and take because
Yeah.
part of the challenge is food that tastes good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because some people get stuck, and affordable food that tastes good. And I can make a soup out of 8 kinds of beans, and I take a bit of an onion and butter, and you saute it, and it tastes amazing. Because we forget that beans have a lot of flavor, and they're quite often affordable. And a lot of different cultures use beans, but we tend to forget that they're there. They are right in front of us. And so it's again learning. Look at chickpeas. Someone told me that you could take chickpea water as a vegan substitute for egg whites. Who knew, right? That you could whip up chickpea water and have egg whites. That again, something that's affordable and vegan. But so there's recipes. So we'll add that to the list. So what I would hope for that we could pick a date where we could have a location. And I was just thinking out loud that Christine, what about, because you already have this, I call it the food condo, and you're right beside TMU, Toronto Metropolitan University. Would it be possible to have a gathering there?
Oh yeah, certainly we could have a gathering there. We don't, the only issue is it's just not wheelchair accessible. So I don't know if that has an impact, but I know that otherwise, we certainly would welcome everyone.
I think we've even at Manor Road, we do have a lift, but when the lift was broken, we called the Samaritan force together and carried the person. It was Salah up the stairs. So I think we have enough bench strength that we could do that if need be. So yeah, so that would be something. So if we could, because what I'm really hoping is that then, because Joe Toby is just chomping at the bit to deliver these to people and make a difference. Because I think part of it is if people see them, they'll say, "Oh, okay," and you know what? He'll even help you install it, so you don't. So we remove. He's a very wonderful person who does a lot of different things for people. One of the main things he does, if you know anybody that needs a wheelchair access or an accessible bed or lift in your house, he'll do this for free. Okay, and he does all the motorization too. So he's a very wonderful person from that perspective, very generous. And believe it or not, he's turning 80 this year, and you never know if you meet him.
Really? It doesn't look that old at all.
No, he doesn't. No, he's very, he climbs ladders and does all sorts of things. So if we look at a date, hypothetically, what if
We've got a hand.
Pardon me?
It looks
sorry.
like that's okay.
Thank you for Kim for shouting it
No
out because I
worries.
can't see all the hands. Okay. Who's
Mickey's
speaking?
Mickey's hands up.
Mickey.
Continue, please continue. I just wanted to say, if Joe is so eager, there was a meeting with Jackie at our synagogue with actually the daughter of Simon, so young people, and they're ready to go, but I don't know exactly what came out of that, and if they do have, so I can connect with her and see if they
Good.
need a little food pantry, and then you know, that can actually
That'd be great. So Jackie, the
Joe can
daughter of
actually get
Simon.
rid of it.
So Jackie Strauss is her name is?
No, Jackie Silverberg.
Jackie
You know,
Silver,
remember
okay.
she came to the session at,
Oh, yes. Oh,
right.
yes. So the daughter of Jackie Silverberg. Okay, right.
Yeah, but Simon is a member of our congregation,
Good.
and his
Okay.
daughter.
Right.
There's a whole gung-ho group of young girls who are very what would I say? Well, they're very into social action, and
Good.
they're meeting with them. So maybe if I offer one, I don't know. I don't know the result of the meeting, but I
Well-
asked her to come tonight to
Right.
brief. Is there one available? You say?
Oh, yeah, there is, but it's easier if they showed up to the meeting that we're going to have next time, and they could just take it home with them.
Okay,
But
yeah,
yeah.
let
So
her
just
know.
plant the seed. So if we looked at a possibility, so Christine, would Thursday, May the 2nd be possible to meet in person at Luther first?
Yeah, let me just see, because we also have a music school that rents the nave as well on occasion. So,
I know you have that back area that's like a meeting area that's separate from the church, right?
yeah, that's also being used. But I think if I give them enough time, they might be able to move something around. So I can see. I have my calendar open. I have our
Good.
calendar open. That's why.
Good for you. Okay, wow. We got the person who's the ground zero for organization. Great. Okay.
So we get we can give it a try, and I think if we have enough time, then I think they might be able to move things around a little bit.
Okay.
So but if I can now, is the 2nd of May a day that we're looking towards?
Yeah, we're throwing that at 6:30. So if we aim for that, and then what's the address again?
It's oh gosh, I think it's 60 Bond Street, right? Victoria.
116 Bond Street, yeah.
Okay. 116 Bond Street.
I know what it's like, Christine. You know how to get there. You don't need the address.
Yeah, I don't need that.
So it's an autopilot. So that'd be good. So then what we could do is, if you, Kim, could organize maybe some recipes, that'd be, remember simple, and then a range of ethnicities, and that's helpful too, because the beauty of beans are kosher and they're halal, right? So you don't have to worry about that part, and so we cover that too, and always remember beans are healthy. So it's nice to, if different people will make this potluck, but make it light finger foods when people come. That way everybody participating, and we're not expecting you, Christine, to suddenly feed the masses. So you just open the doors, and we'll bring food and water, and go from there. So if we make a potluck, I think that's ever so phenomenal. And then remember, and we'll get Joe there, and then Toby, and then
the pantries.
yeah, and then Mickey, if you have your people, if they want to show up with a vehicle, because I wouldn't recommend to try to do this on foot, so to speak. Carrying a food pantry on the subway would be rather challenging. I mean, you could do it, I guess. I've seen people carry
Right.
80-inch screen TVs on the subway, so maybe you could do that. Yeah. So to speak.
13 feet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe you can indicate parking opportunities for Christine for that neighborhood.
So if you think of right near there, there is a multi-stack parking lot, because remember, it's in the block where the cinema is, at the corner of Yonge and Dundas, right?
Right.
Very close to that. It's in the same vicinity. It's sort of northeast of that, if I'm not mistaken. Because if I say that correctly, Christine, that your church is north of Dundas, right?
Yeah, north of Dundas, just one street.
Or
maybe
south of Dundas. South of Dundas. Sorry, south of Dundas, right?
East
Yeah.
of
We're north of
East of
Dundas.
Northeast.
Yeah, northeast. Yeah, so there's
Right.
Victoria, and then comes Bond Street.
Bond, yeah. Right.
And then
Yeah.
there's a parking lot on the northeast corner of Bond and Young in the basement. And you
Yes.
sometimes street parking. But yeah, I usually go by subway. So
Yeah, there is
Okay.
parking. There is parking at Metropolitan United. There's
Right.
parking below the research wing of St. Michael's, and if I'm not mistaken, and there's a there's there I can't remember. And there's underground parking. Pardon me.
Can people just park at Metropolitan United?
They can't park for free, but you have to pay for it. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't have that pull anymore. Remember, I used to
yeah.
have pull. I used to
So,
ride
yeah, I
Yeah.
visited you where one. Oh my God.
I used to
I
have
thought you
pull.
might still know the people that have to pull.
I do know, but not that way. No. Yeah.
Not
No, I
enough.
think so. I am very inspired by this gathering. I mean, I think it's we're moving forward, and we're going to have an on-site, and we'll hopefully be able to give out some free pantries. So keep in mind, we mentioned recipes, and if you want to bring items for the First Evangelical Lutheran pantry, that'd be a very good idea, I think, and it'll help people starting to think about what can we bring. Think chickpeas, think Romano beans, think fava beans, think lentils, think white and red kidney beans, think pinto beans, think black-eyed peas, think there's if you go, and it's amazing because where we are, because we have this very South Asian and Caribbean and every culture in our neighborhood, the food sections are super remarkable in terms of okra, the canned okra. I mean, the list goes on. It's remarkable. So good possibilities all around. So what I'm going to suggest is,
oh, can I just interrupt?
yes,
So I think legumes or beans is a great idea.
yes,
Probably cans versus
Right.
dried, because a
yes.
lot of people just don't know how to make dry like it.
They
from-
don't. Yeah, totally. They don't, and they're not patient for the soaking and all that stuff that needs to.
Yeah, and they might only. Yeah, it's just far easier. Open up a can, make the great recipe. So when you
Right.
think of all of recipes, think about open can, add some stewed tomatoes,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
I think it's
And dry pasta too is good. Double macaroni or whatnot. Yeah. And I remember rice noodles too. So what I'm going to suggest, we've planned a date next time's the 2nd. And then if I'm just thinking of that, if Kim, if you could do us the honor of closing us in prayer, that'd be ever
I'd
so
love to.
powerful. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for the invitation. Thanks for everybody being here. It's been great.
Oh, sorry. And before that, so if
Mhm.
most of you have already gave me your email address and the church that you belong to, there's a few people who haven't. So if you would like us to reconnect with you again, please do type that in the chat box right now. Thank you.
Awesome.
Not all churches.
Okay, we'll pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we are grateful that we could gather as members of our communities and people who are wanting to help our neighbors. We're excited about this project and ask that you will be with us in our efforts to help those around us. And we're excited for our May 2nd opportunity, and we're thankful for all of the many people who are putting so much effort into helping us to become more involved in helping each other. And please bless our community, bless our city and the people here, that they will have those things that they need, that we can look to see how we can help others. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen, everybody. And so what I'll do is I'll circle back. There was a guy named Daniel who lived in the beach who wanted to figure out how to do this. Also, the person named Mohammed, who was near the Yazidin Chapel. Yeah. So has everyone had a chance to give our wonderful Vivian, our scribe, and who's keeping track of all the bits, the email addresses? No? Yes, maybe. Okay. And okay. Very good. So thank you.
Most people, not everyone.
Okay. Well, what I can, sorry, go ahead.
Hello, I just I came late and but I can send my email address, but I don't know how right now. How I do it?
You can just type it in the chat or read it out loud. Up to you.
Oh, okay. It's Menjivar, MEN.
M for mother, EN for Nancy.
Yes, JIV as in Victor, AR _
Yeah.
ALBA